Jimin was reported to be experiencing a very concerning decline in health while serving his mandatory military duty. This information did not come from an official big hit music release, but rather emerged from suffocating ambiguity, silent fear, and eventually sparked tremendous commotion. One thing became clear amid this uncertainty: something has happened, and the world is asking, what really happened to Jimin? The first report stated that Jimin was suddenly rushed to a special military hospital without any confirmation from the agency. There was no explanation regarding the type of illness, injury, or condition he was experiencing. What further fueled the panic was the fact that Jungkook, Jimin's close friend and the youngest member of BTS, was not seen participating in routine military training the day after a military ambulance arrived at the training base. Is there a connection between these two events? Public concern intensified when an anonymous military reporter stated that Jungkook personally requested to leave training, and several other soldiers testified that he appeared extremely anxious and unable to focus. Jungkook, known for his high level of professionalism, suddenly showed an emotional side rarely seen in the rigid and disciplined military environment. Some of his fellow soldiers even witnessed him shedding tears in the corner of their military dorm room, staring at his blinking phone screen with no notifications. Meanwhile, in the international entertainment world, Jimin's name also became a major topic when popular American host Jimmy Fallon learned about this news indirectly through his staff. Fallon, who has invited BTS on his show multiple times, was reportedly very shocked and asked his team to immediately find out the truth about Jimin's condition. Is he okay? This isn't just about a celebrity, this is about a friend, said Fallon to his producer. His concern was not just Hollywood celebrity small talk. He personally shares an emotional bond with the BTS members, especially Jimin, whom he describes as polite and kind-hearted. However, at the time this article was written, Big Hit Music remained silent. No official statement, no clarification. Even their official social media accounts seemed to avoid direct questions from fans. They chose to upload old content, as if to divert attention. In reality, their silence only fueled speculation and amplified public anxiety in army communities around the world, especially in South Korea, Japan, Brazil, and the United States. Hashtags like #PrayForJimin and #WhereIsJimin started trending on various social platforms. Fans are not only worried, but also frustrated by the lack of transparency from the management. Some even stated that if Jimin's condition were not serious, Big Hit should have issued a brief clarification to calm the panic. But the reality said otherwise. Silence was the only answer given. An anonymous internal military source stated that the hospital where Jimin is being treated is a high-security medical facility used only for serious cases, both physical and mental. It's usually used when extended therapy is needed, not just for minor injuries or routine checkups, he said. This statement immediately sparked numerous theories. Has Jimin suffered a serious injury? Or is he under immense mental pressure from the sudden transition from global idol life to the strict and stressful military lifestyle? Even more moving was indirect evidence from Jungkook. In a short clip aired briefly on a Korean military news channel, Jungkook was seen scribbling something on the back of his notebook. When fans zoomed in on the writing, the simple yet profound words were revealed. "Wait for me, Hyung." That writing became a lasting symbol in the hearts of ARMY worldwide, a symbol of true friendship in the midst of a storm. Jungkook and Jimin have indeed forged an irreplaceable bond over more than a decade. From their early days as teenage trainees to emotional moments on the global stage, they have leaned on each other. When one falls, the other supports. Now, with Jimin in the most vulnerable position of his life, it's no surprise that Jungkook is feeling such intense emotional turmoil. Meanwhile, American media began reporting on the fans' unease and the concern of celebrities. CNN and Billboard included this news in brief reports on Korea's military secrecy and its impact on global celebrities. Even The Tonight Show, hosted by Jimmy Fallon, was reportedly planning a special segment as a moral support gesture for Jimin, inviting musicians and artists who have worked with him. What will Big Hit Music's next step be? When will they speak up and explain Jimin's current condition? Is Jungkook allowed to visit his friend? Or has he already done so in secret, away from the public eye? And just as important, will Jimin recover and resume his military service as usual? These questions continue to swirl without answers. But one thing is certain, this isn't just news about a sick celebrity. This is about a human being under the spotlight, struggling in silence, with a friend worried for him, and millions of hearts waiting for news. A real-life drama that transcends a stage, pierces through military uniforms, and tears down emotional walls between idols and their fans. The world is waiting, and Jimin remains at the center of countless prayers. However, amid the surging waves of emotion and widespread public reaction, we are faced with one fundamental question. Did this event truly happen? Is all of this the manifestation of a heartfelt reality, or merely a carefully crafted narrative designed to draw public attention? This question is not only important but urgently needs to be answered with clarity and reason. Today, we live in a highly fluid digital ecosystem. Information comes and goes, flooding the public space from every direction. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and hundreds of other online platforms. In this vortex, the line between reality and fiction becomes increasingly blurred. As a reader or viewer, are you truly sure that what you see and hear is an accurate representation of the truth? Or could it be that you are merely witnessing fragments of narratives intentionally crafted to shape a particular perception? If we investigate further, many of the circulating contents about this incident originate from unverified accounts. Some videos show image snippets claimed to be from the main event, yet there's no clarity on the time, location, or credibility of the sources. So, how can we assess the authenticity of information if the supporting evidence is insufficient? It is ironic that in an era of increasingly advanced information technology, we are faced with a major challenge in distinguishing fact from fiction. This is where skepticism becomes essential. Are we critical enough in examining every piece of news we receive? Can we avoid confirmation bias that makes us seek only the information that fits our hopes or beliefs? Let's take an example. When a video goes viral on TikTok showing an emotional expression of a celebrity with a touching title, we tend to immediately believe it is a real response to the mentioned incident. But do we know when the video was recorded? Is it truly related to the attached narrative? Who first spread it? And what was the motive behind that dissemination? Such questions must become part of our daily information consumption process. It's not enough to be moved emotionally. We need to ask, am I being manipulated? Am I part of a sensational campaign deliberately designed to go viral? It is important to note that the information we present in this article was gathered from various sources, including social media and other online platforms. However, we honestly state that the truth of this information cannot be fully verified. Some data fragments remain speculative and have not received official confirmation from related parties. Therefore, we invite you, our dear reader, not to blindly swallow every piece of information that appears before you. Be a smart reader, one who does not merely go with the flow, but who can resist the tide of misleading information with common sense and sharp thinking. When you read an article like this, ask yourself, who benefits from this narrative? Is there authentic evidence supporting the event? Is there confirmation from official sources? Why did this information emerge now and not earlier? Is this part of a hidden promotional strategy? How are other media reporting similar matters? By asking such deep questions, we can build a strong and healthy media literacy culture. We will avoid the traps of hoaxes, emotional manipulation, and sensational narratives that only seek clicks, comments, and reactions. Let us remember that information has incredible power. It can inspire, move, but also mislead and divide. Therefore, our responsibility is not only as recipients of information, but also as guardians of the truth. Now it's time you ask yourself, do I believe this event is real? If so, on what basis do I believe it? If not, Have I sought enough evidence to refute it? We will not force you to draw one conclusion. We simply invite you to think, to question, to challenge assumptions. Because in a world full of illusion and information manipulation, only through reflection and skepticism can we find a glimmer of truth. Ultimately, the most important question is not what actually happened, but why are we so easily convinced? In an era where narratives can be created as easily as typing on a screen, anyone can become a source of truth. So, when a story touches your heart, pause for a moment. Not to reject its emotion, but to test its logic. Are you being moved by truth, or by a fabrication wrapped in emotion? Don't let your sympathy be exploited for clicks and popularity. Be a vigilant reader, a wise viewer, and a digital citizen who cannot be easily deceived.